Hello, friends. Welcome. We're just coming in, so a warm welcome to all. And I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, that you had a joyous holiday with family or friends or with yourself. Today is about honoring ourselves. So perhaps you had a gratitude experience with yourself that you are bringing into our moment today. But either way, I hope you had a lovely last week because we did not get together. We normally are together every Tuesday. So if you're brand new, welcome. And if you are coming in week after week, we've had our connection here. So it's wonderful to be together. And I see many, many familiar faces. So wonderful to see you all. And a warm welcome. My name is Antoinette, and I'm the host of Women Together. And it is a great pleasure to host this connection moment because it's getting cold here in the north of this region of the world. I'm standing in Cortland Manor, New York, and it is getting colder and colder. And this warmth that we create together, this connection, is really a warmth of the heart. I had some friends, a small gathering over the weekend, and I just immediately felt that warmth that we have here, but that is that comes when we are creating community together. So I just invite us into that warmth of community. And one way to do that is to put your Zoom screen on gallery if you're on Zoom, and if you're on YouTube, then you might be stuck with this space. But just imagine all of our friends are here together. There are many of us gathering and coming in. Nina, we all want to be joining you in Maui. So that might just be my dream, but I'm going to say all of us. So yeah, it's wonderful to just be all together though, and to be in all of our different places and spaces. So we can share a little bit about where we're each coming from, the land that we are connected to in this moment. We've got Boynton Beach, Arlington, Massachusetts, Winchester, Massachusetts, Long Island, Maui. Nina, you even look like you have Maui on your, you've taken it in. So it's good to see you there. Newbury, Mass. Wonderful. So we'll keep typing in some of our locations where we are, and just noticing that we honor the land that we stand on or that we're sitting on and connected to, and all those that may have come before us on this land, and all those that may come after us. So just knowing that the land is here holding us all, this wonderful little planet. So we've got France in the house, wonderful. Staten Island, New York, North Dakota, Virginia, Chicago, Vermont, Manhattan, Gardner, Mass, New York City, wonderful. So I love just sort of imagining us on this little earth spinning together and just feeling our feet on the ground. So what I'd like to do is invite us into just a moment of stillness. We'll do a little bit more meditation today around honoring ourselves, but just for a moment, just to land here. So if you can get your feet flat on the ground, if that's comfortable for you. For those of you who may just be joining us for the first time, we like to do tiny practices throughout Women Together, and it's really a way to just connect for a moment. Sometimes it's just taking a breath. But we also, at the beginning of every meeting or any meeting that we need it, we do a little moment of stillness in Eileen Fisher. And so we brought that into our Women Together space just to land and just be here together. We have our little singing bowl. So we'll just take a moment to listen into the sound and take a breath together, and then land being here in this wonderful space of connection. So I see also some of our friends in YouTube, Baltimore, San Diego, St. Louis, Hartford, Connecticut, Owatonna, Minnesota. Wonderful. So wherever you are, wherever you may be, just feeling your feet on the ground. Perhaps that is a floor somewhere. And perhaps somehow that floor is connected to earth. And just feeling that connection. You can lower your gaze or close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Just tuning in, tuning the gaze inwards. Perhaps feeling a little bit of length in the spine, the connection of the top of the head to the sky. And I'll ring the sound of the bell to bring us into stillness, and I'll ring the sound of the bell to bring us back together. So you can just return the attention to the screen, to our connection with each other. And if you are able to be on gallery view, you can just take a couple of boxes of Zoom, our little Zoom boxes, and just send warmth and greeting. So we're all going to look at Nina's box and take Maui's warmth. No, we're going to all just bring that warmth from the heart to each other. So you can pick any two boxes and just find each other and share just this warmth and light and connection that we have in our own hearts and share that with each other. Just see each other and be seen. And in allowing ourselves to be seen, to know that we're feeling each other, we're feeling that warmth. So one of our teachers says, I feel you feeling me. So just for this moment, I feel you feeling me. Just acknowledging that we're in that space together. Wonderful. So now that we've welcomed each other, the little hello, warmth, and greetings, just tuning into what brought you here today. Today is about honoring ourselves. So what draws you to this topic, to this Women Together Connect? You can type it in the chat or in the YouTube comments, just sharing what brought you here today about honoring ourselves. And I can tell you as you type in a little bit that I need this session too, because as I said, I had some friends over, and I think in this time of kind of doing the dance of how to be social and how to be connected to each other and how to kind of have some of these things that are being in the world again, I find myself dancing a little bit with how to do this, but how to do this in a way that allows me to honor myself, really. And, you know, in general, how do I honor my feelings? How do I honor my accomplishments? How do I honor my potential? How do I honor all of those different aspects of who I am, my identity, etc., in any moment to moment experience, whether it's, you know, doing the things that I need to do at home or going out into the world or connecting with other people? How do I take a tiny practice, a little moment throughout the day, and just honor myself? So that's the invitation for today. And wonderful, I see some coming in on the chat. So Marilyn says, my weekly dose of serenity. Janice, as a holistic RN, self care is integral to our being. Honoring ourselves can be a product of self care. Wonderful. Lauren, a warm welcome. It's your first time here. You can be in an honoring circle and just learned of this group. Wonderful. I wanted to see how you did it. I'd love to see how you do it, Lauren, and to share practices. It's wonderful to have you here. Kathleen, living into wonder and potential requires putting myself into the picture. Wonderful, Kathleen. Thank you for sharing that. And I'll just check in the YouTube also. So we have just some wonderful thoughts coming in. Feel free to keep typing those in and sharing. So for me, I think about this one a lot. I think that there are practices of self-care and there's like things that we can do for self-care, but it's also I think to honor ourselves is a bit beyond that, and it's also not even going that far. Sometimes it's just allowing ourselves or accepting ourselves to be ourselves. So we have a couple more coming in. So it's truly important to honor myself. This is from Veronica. It gives me a chance to get away from the hustle and bustle of living in this world. It gives me peace. Rachel says, honoring myself is a constant challenge, always looking for ways to improve. Eileen, this time allows me a time out, a time for figuring myself out and taking stock of where I am. I try to listen to myself more. From Barbara, I honor myself by taking tiny moments to breathe, drop my shoulders, mindful breaths. Want to share my gratitude for this life. Wonderful. What a fantastic group. I love us, our little reflections and appreciations and gratitudes, and it's just so good. So thank you all. And I just, notice that I'm feeling a sense of deep gratitude for each of you, and for the ways that we each show up, and whether we're coming in for the first time or we've been here time and again. I just feel a lot of warmth and gratitude for this community that we're creating here. So what I wanted to do is share a little poem. So Christy Nelson joined us last week, and really reminded us about how we connect with each other, and her work on gratitude is incredibly inspiring, especially as something that we can practice every day, that we can practice gratitude. And we can practice gratitude as a way of connecting in with life itself and what that can mean for being in flow and really kind of being in the flow of what life wants of us. So it's a practice that she shared with us last week. And then she shared a poem with me that's by Julia Fehrenbacher. And I just thought this was a wonderful poem for sharing in our session today, and how great that it's from Christy, who was with us last week. And so here it is. So what I invite you to do is just settle into kind of being with this poem and the words that I'm about to share, and just being in your body and allowing the words to just kind of wash over you and take what's right for you. And I'm going to read it through, and I might read a line or two twice, but just so that we really just allow this poem to land. It's titled The Most Important Thing. I am making a home inside myself, a shelter of kindness where everything is forgiven, everything allowed, a quiet patch of sunlight to stretch out without hurry, where all that has been banished and buried is welcomed, spoken, listened to, released. A fiercely friendly place I can claim as my very own. I am throwing arms open to the whole of myself, especially the fearful, fault-finding, falling apart, unfinished parts, knowing every seed and weed, every drop of rain has made the soil richer. I will light a candle, pour a hot cup of tea, gather around the warmth of my own blazing fire. I will howl if I want to, knowing this flame can burn through any perceived problem, any prescribed perfectionism, any lying limitation, every heavy thing. I am making a home inside myself, where grace blooms in grand and glorious abundance, a shelter of kindness that grows all the truest things. I whisper hallelujah to the friendly sky. Watch now as I burst into blossom. I am making a home inside myself where grace blooms in grand and glorious abundance, a shelter of kindness that grows all the truest things. I whisper hallelujah to the friendly sky. Watch now as I burst into blossom. So I share that poem as a way for us to just be reminded, and I just shared it in the Zoom chat, that honoring ourselves is about claiming ourselves. I love these lines. A fiercely friendly place I can claim as my very own. Fiercely friendly. I think that's such a powerful term because often, in order to be friendly or caring, we have to be nice. We have to kind of roll out the doormat, allow ourselves to kind of take it all in. And this idea of fiercely friendly, a place I can claim as my very own. If we could claim ourselves to honor ourselves and throw our arms open to the whole of ourselves, especially the fearful, fault finding, falling apart, unfinished parts, all of that. How do we claim ourselves? And just knowing that when we light this candle, pour a hot cup of tea, we do these practices of self care, that it's not just about the act. It's not just, we can take a bath and it can be just about the bath, right? It can be about, I need to clean this and do that. Or we can take a bath and make it a ritual. We can take a bath and we can pour in the bubbles. We can put the candles on. We can do the little things that really allow us to be honored. So it's not just a self care practice, although those are crucial. It's honoring, it's creating ritual around it, it's finding the sacred in it. Risa said the acceptance of the messiness of life. Yes. So it's finding all of these little pieces of mess and allowing them to be and giving them a place and claiming them because they're part of what I love at the end is it's a shelter of kindness that grows all the truest things. It's not the nicest things, the truest things. And just seeing also this, seeing the sky as friendly. We could see it as ominous. We could see it as, there's a lot of different ways we can see things. And so seeing things as friendly, choosing how we see the world around us. So what I'd like to invite us into is a little bit of journaling. And the way we do that is just get a piece of paper and pen. So if you have a journal nearby, you can grab that journal. And if you have a piece of paper and that's all you have, that's fine as well. But just grabbing a piece of paper and a pen. I'd like to just invite us to, I'll ask a question and you can just write what comes to mind for you. And I'd like to follow along on this poem. So today, if I were to be creating this shelter within myself, a home inside myself, a fiercely friendly place, what would you be throwing your arms open to? So, what am I throwing my arms open to today? And this in this poem, she shares especially the fearful, fault finding, falling apart, unfinished parts. So, just what am I throwing my arms open to? The wholeness of myself today. And perhaps you're already going here, but how have those seeds and weeds or drops of rain, how have they made the soil of who I am richer? So you might take that in a number of different ways, but how have I learned from all of these different parts of myself? How have those seeds and weeds or drops of rain raised, made my soil richer? Marsha, I see your raised hand, and I will invite you to share in the chat. And then after we're going to move into connection, we can share with each other, and then I'll take some questions. So, how have those seeds and weeds or drops of rain made my soil richer? So, how have I been enriched by all of these different parts? And the next question is, what ritual can I take on to honor myself this week? Our poet shares, I will light a candle, pour a hot cup of tea, gather around the warmth of my own blazing fire. I will howl if I want to, knowing this flame can burn through any perceived problems, any prescribed perfectionism, any lying limitation, every heavy thing. So, what ritual can I take on to honor myself this week? And it doesn't need to be beautiful. It could be going out in the woods and having a good scream, or whatever it is that is going to light your fire, that's going to honor all of these parts of who I am. And my last prompt for you is a statement. So rather than asking a question, it's a statement. I am making a home inside myself where? And you can fill in the blank there. I am making a home inside myself where? And our poet says, I am making a home inside myself where grace blooms in grand and glorious abundance, a shelter of kindness that grows all the truest things. I whisper hallelujah to the friendly sky. Watch now as I burst into blossom. So the prompt is I am making a home inside myself where? So once you've written at least something about that, we're going to turn to each other now. And this is the core of our Women Together experience, is really turning to each other. And we're going to give you a full 20 minutes to do this in small groups. And you're going to share what came up for you. I'm making a home inside myself where? And really just sharing your truth of the current moment, of what's been coming up for you. And Lauren has just shared with me her honoring circle, and I love it, and I want to just do it. But what I'll say is, for now, we just share what's coming up for you, and really just honoring ourselves at this present moment. And the invitation, as always, is to support each other with generous listening. So really giving each other the gift of listening and being heard, and really listening beyond the words that this person or these people are sharing with you, and just being generous with each other and compassionate. So I often say that we don't know what the other person had for breakfast, let alone what the rest of their life history may entail. So we don't know what we're bringing into these conversations, but we're really just meeting each other in this moment, sharing from the heart, and seeing what comes up. So enjoy your 20 minutes together, and we'll see you back here after this breakout.